Screenshot done. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the salivary gland from your notes. Okay, see, salivary gland are exocrine gland. Why they are exocrine gland? Because they have duct to secrete to transport their secretion. That's why they are called as exocrine gland.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
Voice is not clear. Wait a second. Wait a second. And now voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. So we were discussing about the salivary gland. So salivary gland is called as endocrine gland. Why it is called as endocrine gland? Because it have duct to transport its secretion. Okay, that secrete the saliva and through a system of the duct. Okay, it has duct to transport its secretion. That's why it is called as.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
Still not clear?
Sir, it is clear. It's clear.
I think your side the internet was not working properly. I think. Huh? Okay. Now it is visible and sorry, audible.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. May I know your name?
Anudeep, sir.
Anudeep. Okay. Will you check your type? Sorry, your site's internet also. Okay. So now second point. So it poured into the mouth. Okay, that saliva directly secretes into the mouth. In human, three major pair of salivary glands are present that we have already seen in the diagram. Which are they? Parotoid gland, then we have submandibular gland and sublingual gland. Okay, we have already seen in the diagram. Okay, here you can see here these are the three salivary glands. These are the pair of salivary gland. Okay, these are. Okay, first one is parotoid gland, second one is submandibular gland, and third one is sublingual gland. Understood, beta? Have you taken the screenshot for this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just remember there are three types, three salivary gland, or we can say the pair of three salivary gland. Number one is parotoid gland, number two submandibular gland, and number three sublingual gland. You have to remember the name also. Okay. Okay. Now, in healthy individual, between see about 0.5 to 1.5 liter of saliva is secreted or produced per day. Very important point. Okay, they secrete about 0.5 liter to 1.5 liter per day in 24 hours. Okay, now saliva serve as a following function in the oral cavity. So now we are going to discuss about the function of saliva. Function of saliva. Okay, first it lubricates the see, whatever the food that we are, eating, where mastication process takes place, during the mastication saliva is get mixed into it. Okay, due to the mixing of saliva, the food becomes lubricate. Okay, so that during the swallowing process or peristaltic movement, that food is not going to harm the soft inner lining wall of the esophagus. That's why that food have to be make more lubricate. Okay, and protect the soft and hard tissue of the oral cavity. See, it protects the tissues of the esophagus, mouth, as well as in stomach, of the stomach. Understood? This is the first function of saliva. Understood, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, second function.
Yes,
It
sir.
it also it also gives protection from the dental caries. See, whatever the food that we are eating, okay, if some of the food get, like some of the part of the food that present in between the teeth, okay, and where decay decomposition process takes place, and during the decay decomposition process, acid is formed. Okay, so that acid is get neutralized with the help of saliva. Okay, so we can say it also protects the dental caries. Okay, which one? The saliva. Now, third function, saliva prevents microbial growth in the oral cavity. See, it also helps to prevent the, production of the harmful microorganism in oral cavity. Okay, saliva prevents microbial growth in the oral cavity. This is the third important function of saliva. Next point, saliva can encourage soft tissues repair and decreasing clotting time and increasing the wound contraction. Okay, see, generally what happens due to acidity, mouth ulcer takes place. So during the mouth ulcer, the inner soft lining of the mouth and esophagus get, rupture, their cells get rupture. So due to, rupture cells, that saliva helps them to, for the repair and maintenance of the cell. It helps in repair and maintenance of the cell. It is very important function of the saliva. Then saliva contain enzyme called amylase that we have already been discussed many times, and it helps in digestion of carbohydrate. Okay, so amylase that hydrolyze starch into maltose. Okay, maltose is the type of sugar, and dextrine. Okay, see, another product that we have here, read here, which is dextrine. Hence, saliva allows digestion to occur before the food enters the stomach. Okay, that means the digestion process starts in mouth itself. Okay, next, saliva acts as a solvent in which solid particles can dissolve and enters the taste bud located on the tongue. It is again important. All other important function of saliva. See, saliva acts as a solvent. It acts as a solvent in which solid particles of the food that dissolve in saliva and enters the taste bud in order to taste the food. Okay, so with the help of saliva, we can taste the food perfectly. Okay, beta. So
Sir, I
the
have a doubt.
yes, beta.
Sir, how are ulcers formed in our mouth, sir?
Uh,
How are ulcers formed in our mouth? Ulcer.
See, due to acidic condition, see, when you are, like acidity takes place in your stomach, due to which what is acidity means? Acidity means the presence of excess acid in a stomach, due to which, okay, it may be takes place when you are eating like very hard food to digest. Okay, that time that excess of acid is secreted in your stomach. Due to the, excess of acidity takes place, so that mouth also takes place by the action of acid only. Okay, it is due to the acidity. Okay, sometimes headache also takes place. You will feel headache when acidity takes place in your stomach. And this mouth ulcer is due to the effect of acid only. Okay, the soft inner lining wall of the mouth and esophagus get ruptured by the action of acid. Okay, that is nothing but the mouth ulcer.
Sir,
Okay. Huh.
sir, can you show me the diagram, sir, of nerves in our mouth? Can you
Now,
just display it? I'll take a screenshot.
okay, okay. That one.
Yes, yes, this one, sir.
Okay, okay. These are the salivary gland that present in human being. Yeah. Done.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. Okay. See here also another diagram we have. This is the parotoid salivary gland. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, and here it is a duct for the transport of saliva from duct to the mouth. Okay, so it is the parotoid duct. Then here we have submandibular salivary gland, and here we have submandibular salivary duct. Okay, it is a duct which helps to transport the saliva, okay, into the mouth itself. Okay, then we have the third gland. Here it is the sublingual salivary gland. Okay, and here it is duct is also present. Okay, which helps in transportation of the saliva secreted by the sublingual gland. Okay, so this is another diagram to understand, the location of and the duct of the three salivary glands. Okay, you can take screenshot for this also. I want you to take screenshot for all the point that we have discussed here. Okay, wait a second. Now, can you see all the points and both the diagrams?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in one shot, you can take the screenshot for that. Everything is one diagram, one picture only. Done?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the glandular epithelium. Do we have to discuss this? Okay. Do you have in your syllabus this villi, microvilli, glandular epithelium? You do?
I have to check.
Will you please check? Listen now, we will discuss this because it is also very important. Okay, let it be whether it is in your syllabus or not. Okay, because we are in foundation of the IIT and NEET, so we have to discuss in detail. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the glandular epithelium. Okay, yep. So many small glands are present in inner layer of the stomach. These are called as gastric gland. Okay, now we are discussing about the gastric gland. So many glands present in the inner layer of the stomach, okay, and intestine also, that takes place in the helps in the digestion of food by secretion of the different digestive enzymes. Okay, these glands are present in epithelial lining of the stomach, okay, and the intestine also. The gland present in different region of the stomach and are called as gastric gland. We have already been discussed about the gastric gland. They are responsible for the secretion of mucus. Okay, in stomach mucus is secreted, then they secrete hydrochloric acid. We have already discussed about mucus, hydrochloric acid, and enzyme called pepsinogen. Okay, and this pepsinogen in presence of hydrochloric acid converts into the pepsin, which is the active form of digestive enzyme, and then it helps in digestion of protein, and protein break down into the small fragment called peptides. Okay, and mucus helps to protect the inner lining wall of the stomach, and yes, it is a stomach by the action of acid. Okay, that we have already been discussed in last lecture. The gland present in the epithelial lining of the small intestine and large intestine are called as intestinal gland. Okay, if these glands are present in small intestine and large intestine are called as intestinal gland. Gland of the small intestine are responsible for the secretion of intestinal juice called as, see, this is called as succus. Okay, it is called as succus. Okay, succus entericus, and it contain, that lipase which helps in digestion of fat. So you have to remember the name of the juice which is secreted by the gastric gland of the small stomach. Okay, what is the name? Succus entericus. Entericus. Succus entericus. Then next point we have the intestinal juice contain, see, intestinal juice generally contain hormones, then digestive enzymes and alkaline mucus and substance to neutralize the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so in stomach, again the basic substance which is secreted which helps to neutralize the acid, so that, okay, the inner lining wall of the intestine get protected. Okay, and coming from the stomach, the food which is coming from the stomach have to be made alkaline. That's why these different substances which are secreted by the intestinal, glands which secrete the succus entericus, which contain all this digestive enzyme, hormone, okay, and alkaline substance which helps to make food basic in nature. Okay, intestinal juice completes digestion start by the pancreatic juice. Okay, whatever the process which is start from the mouth and stomach, that ends in the small intestine. That means after small intestine the food is not get digested. Okay, so digestion completes in small stomach only. Gland of the large intestine are associated with the absorption of water and electrolyte, whereas in small intestine, all the nutrients they are absorbed by the structure called villi and microvilli. Now we are going to discuss about villi and microvilli. Okay, so this is all about the gland which are present in small intestine as well as in large intestine. Okay, and these glands are present in the glandular epithelium of the layer of the small intestine and large intestine. That's why we are calling it the glandular epithelium. So again, I want you to take a screenshot for this part because it is again very important. Okay, now take a screenshot for that. So here you have any doubt, beta? Yes, any doubt here?
Sir, can you explain again?
All the points?
No, sir, from the intestinal, that part. intestinal juice contains hormones,
Okay,
digestive
okay, okay.
factors.
See, intestinal juice contain different hormones and enzymes, and again the alkaline substance which is in the form of mucus, which helps to neutralize the acidic food which is coming from the stomach. Okay, because in stomach HCl is secreted. That's why due to the action of acid, other proteinous substance get digested, but the food is in acidic nature. Okay, when it enters into the small intestine, that food have to be make alkaline. So most of the food is get neutralized by the bile juice and pancreatic juice, whereas other alkaline substances are secreted by the intestinal gland, which helps to neutralize the food which is coming from the stomach. Okay, it also helps to neutralize the food also. And different digestive enzymes are secreted there, which like lipase, which helps in digestion of fat. Okay, so intestinal juice complete the digestion start by the pancreatic juice. Okay, so in stomach pancreatic juice is secreted, and from in small intestine, like we have different three parts. What are the parts? We have duodenum, then we have jejunum, and we have ileum. So all this in this part, different digestive enzymes are secreted, but the process start from the digestion of the juice which is secreted by the pancreas and liver. Okay, so here digestive enzymes secreted by the liver also, from pancreatic juice also, and as well as the intestinal gland. All three glands secretes the digestive enzymes which contain different enzymes in order to digest the food. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah. The glands of large intestine are associated with, see, digestion process completes in small intestine itself. Okay, and absorption of nutrition is also takes place in small intestine by the finger like projection called villi and microvilli. That means in large intestine only the absorption of water and electrolytes, or we can say the salt, takes place only. Okay, any doubt beta? Any more doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So now we will discuss about the villi and microvilli. Very important part. Let me check if somebody is in waiting room. Oh, we have only 9 minutes left. Ali Ahmed. Okay.
Sir, more how many topics are there for the chapter?
Okay, for the human nutrition, we have villi and microvilli. Then we have liver. We will discuss about the liver also. Okay, in detail. Then we will discuss about the digestive juice. Okay, then water absorption in large intestine. That's all. Probably we will have one more lecture. Then our this part of the lesson will get complete.
Part of the lesson,
Yes,
Yes.
not
because
the
we
lesson,
we
sir.
had we had to discuss all the life processes that we have in our syllabus now. Then after, I think we will have one more lecture to complete this session. Then we will start the respiration. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
because this chapter is divided into three parts now.
Yes.
Yes, so this is the part first. Here we have only nutrition and human nutrition only. Is it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Then one more lecture we will have. We are going to conduct for light reaction and dark reaction. Okay, so probably we will have two more lecture to complete this session and this part. Okay.
Understood, sir.
Yeah. So now we are going to discuss about the villi and microvilli. Okay. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, villi are nothing but the finger-like projection that present on the inner lining wall of the small intestine. Okay. So we will discuss about like one by one here. Then we will discuss about the diagram also. So complete digestion and absorption of the food takes place in small intestine. See, we have already been discussed many times. The complete absorption of food, that means absorption of nutrition, takes place in small intestine only. Okay, and digestion also. Then there is no further digestion takes place after small intestine. Pancreatic juice coming from the pancreas, bile juice coming from the liver, and intestinal juice secreted by the intestinal gland complete the digestion of food material in small intestine. In small intestine. Okay. All the juice which is coming from the pancreas, which is coming from the liver and secreted by the intestinal gland, all this gland secretes the digestive enzyme which helps in complete digestion of food. That means the complete digestion of food takes place in small intestine. Okay. All the digested nutrients are absorbed by the long finger like projection. See, this is the long finger like projection present in the ileum. See, ileum is the last part of the small intestine. Okay, we have three parts of the small intestine. What are they? The first part is called duodenum. Yes. Second part is called
Jejunum.
jejunum, and third part is called
Ileum.
ileum. Okay, so in ileum it is iron. Okay, so in ileum, so you have to remember in ileum part nutrition absorption takes place. Absorption of nutrition takes place in ileum part, okay, of the small intestine. These small finger-like projection of the inner wall of the small intestine are called as villi. They are called as villi. And you know, villi is the plural form and villus is the singular form. Okay, so villus is singular and villi is the plural form. Okay, each villus has each cell membrane of the lumen side again folded. Lumen side means the outer covering. Okay, like outer covering. On outer covering, which is again folded, micro and microscopic processes called microvilli are present here. Okay, here again the microscopic microvilli are present, which helps in absorption of nutrition. Okay, villi increases the intestinal surface area. Okay, if suppose this is the area of the small intestine, so the area will be from here to here. Okay, so that particular part of the small intestine is going to absorb the nutrition. If villi are present there, then villi increases the surface area in order to absorb the nutrition. When food will pass from here, then this villi provide the large surface area in order to absorb nutrition from the digested food. So what is the main role of villi? To increase the surface area of the wall of the small intestine in order to absorb the nutrition from the digested food. Okay, so the increases the internal surface area of the small intestine. Okay, and making available for the greater surface area for the absorption of nutrition. Okay, from the digested food. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now next part. Digested nutrients passes into the semi-permeable villi through the diffusion. So now we have to understand what is diffusion and what is semi-permeable. See, semi-permeable is the membrane which allows the passage of the specific particles from it only. Okay, such membrane is called as semi-permeable membrane. Okay, and suppose this is the semi-permeable membrane which is present on the wall of the stomach. So we will discuss here only. Okay, if one's food will passes from here, when food will pass from here, so this part of the villi where microvilli are present, they act as a semi-permeable membrane and which allows the passage of nutrients from digested food inside the blood vessels in the blood. Okay, here numerous blood vessels are present. They supplies blood over the villi and microvilli in order to absorb the food. Okay, now what is diffusion? Diffusion is the flow of material or nutrition from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. It's called as diffusion. Okay, the
Yes.
flow of nutrition from the region of higher, see, food is digested over here, which is having more amount of nutrition in it. Okay, because they have already break down into the simpler form. That simpler form of nutrient are absorbed by the microvilli where blood is present via blood capillaries. Okay, so blood capillaries contain less nutrition and the food contain more nutrition. So food contain higher nutrition. Okay, higher nutrition value, and blood vessels contain the blood which contain lower nutrition value. So the nutrition will move from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. This process is called as diffusion. This process is called as diffusion. So we can say by the diffusion process, see, we have only 1 minute left.